In this video, I'm gonna show you how I built this awesome rooftop tent from scratch with basic hand tools and stuff that you can buy at Home Depot for a couple $100 only. And this video is brought to you by... What's up everyone, welcome back to Jimmy Has No Garage. In the last video, I showed you how I put a roof rack on the Miata hardtop. Now with a functional roof rack, I went to Home Depot and I bought myself a piece of 4x4 plywood, and I managed to get home with some ratcheting straps. Being able to stand on the hardtop without damaging anything gave me a confidence boost. Went back to Home Depot the next day to grab this 10 feet channel strut and cut it into two pieces, 4 feet, and I bolt them onto the plywood. I cut like 8 of these plates and they just fit in here, and then you can just bolt the thing in between. I just need some longer bolts. With another plate sandwiching the roof rack, it looks like this. I drove like this for a little while and I move on to make extra support for what's coming next. I was inspired by this guy in Canada who he put a ski box on his Miata, and he came up with this bracket design that won't interfere with the Miata trunk. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. I bought a piece of aluminum angle and I cut a piece of it and drilled a hole, and voila, that's my bracket. Rubber pads were placed under the bracket so it won't damage the paint. With the bottom mount sorted out, everything just came together very easy. And the next day I'm already standing on it. Moving on to the next part, I made these metal brackets with some 2-inch wide strips that you can buy at Home Depot, and I attached them to another piece of plywood, making a folding mechanism. If I'm to do it again, I will use some 3-inch wide steel plates instead of 2-inch. I went ahead and painted everything black and it looked like this. At that time I was still waiting for my telescoping ladder, so these were in place to hold it together. While I was doing all that, I went on eBay and bought this Wickman 2-person pop-up tent. It was actually kind of hard to find a tent that is this small and has an opening on the longer end, so this is the only choice I have. So the side is like, the tent is wider than the board, but that's fine because we're gonna chop this plastic piece anyway and make the tent fit into the 4x8. Oh shit, it's hard. I went on Taobao, which is Chinese eBay, and bought this 1.7 meter telescoping ladder for like dirt cheap. I don't know why they go for $100 here in the US. These ladders, you can choose not to extend them all the way, which is nice. At that point my Miata wasn't lifted yet, so how tall the ladder would be was undecided. Here you can see that I drew some holes and attached some door hinges to the ladder, and then I put it on the base of the plywood. Don't do what I did here. You should really place the ladder to the edge of the plywood. That way it will be easier to climb on the tent. This is the first time that I can see through here because I'm on top of my Miata. And then I just cut the tent. You know, these fiber thingy to make the tent pop. I just cut it. And now the tent is flat. Bolt the tent down, like 4 bolts, not bolts, 4 screws. And then I reused the cut off fiber thing to just make the stand. Oh my god, this is so nice. Whew. Okay. Doing this freaking project, I drew so many holes on like that tiny ass vise, and it hurts me. So it's finally time that I go to get a drill press. Ta-da! I had to raise my shelf for like a 3-inch or 2-inch to make this fit. With the tent bolted on to the plywood, it's time to make the tent open by itself. I made 2 hoops out of some conduits and attached them to my bracket. Okay. When it closes, it looks like this. When it opens, it will just open. Yay! It's a little bit droopy because on the side it's just going down. Okay, so it's a little bit too droopy, maybe because the conduit was not long enough, or I will just adjust these to make it like pull out this way more, and then it will just look better. This is cool, man. I'm just chilling. Imagine you're like cruising and just park along the Malibu highway and just look at the sea. Yeah, man, shut the f up and go back to work. This is very nice. It made it very sturdy. I can feel it, you know. It won't sink down here. Okay, now we're gonna work on the mechanism of the tent opening and closing. I've already placed like 4 eye bolts on each corner. We're gonna run a wire through the conduit, and then to the other eye bolt. So every time when it opens, it will just opens like this. Okay, so now I'm gonna open it and you're gonna see this whole thing is gonna just opens up. Ta-da! At this point, the roof tent is pretty much done. I added 2 more pieces of aluminum angle to the plywood so that it won't bend so easy when I stand on the side. While I was building all these, I found myself a Paco lift kit 3-inch on Facebook Marketplace for $175. Oh my god, yes. Couple weeks later, I got myself a new set of tires. These are the largest tires I can fit without cutting the rear fenders. The last part of this project would be making a cover for the tent. Unfortunately, it rained before I was able to do so. I went to a local fabric shop and asked for some waterproof material, and this is what they gave me. I was gonna be hardcore and buy a sewing machine and make this cover myself. But man, this material was just too thick and too sticky for any home use machine to make a stitch. I gave up, returned the machine, and paid a curtain making lady $50 to finish this for me. Remember what I said just now, watching the sunset in Malibu? That's exactly what I did. Very memorable experience. If the tent opens to the side instead of the rear, you won't be able to do this so easily. Yes, it's a little bit difficult to open the trunk, but it is worth it. Here, I recorded some reaction of people passing by. It was pretty fun to watch. Well guys, that's it for today's video. I really appreciate you following along. I hope you learned something. So far I've camped in this thing twice and it was awesome. Be sure to check out that camping vlog video that I made. In the future, I definitely plan to off-road, go to trail or rock crawling with this thing and more camping. So if you like the content, please subscribe and follow my Instagram. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.